Effective computing is all about making the user feel something, feel an emotion, get some kind of emotional response from the experience. And I feel that Before the Bulldozer is a successful example of an effective use of effective computing. During this tour, I felt melancholy as I learned how these once rich and vibrant African American communities were torn down for the sake of someone else's idea of progress, and how the AR videos, which I'll show later in this video and through links, helped me experience and go back to what the waterfront once was and understand how it became in its current form. I feel that I learned a lot in this tour, and I got to experience both the sadness of losing what once was and also kind of learning to accept what it is now and making sure that these experiences, these memories, they don't truly die.
Of your phone's camera. It will start and stop automatically during the tour. Just listen for the instruction to hold up your phone. The rest of the time you can keep your phone in your pocket. Now slowly spin your phone around. Yeah, 360 degrees. Turn your whole body around to take in this scene. Feel free to walk around a bit and look closer at some of the scene.
This was 4th Street, or 4.5 Street as it was called back then, in the 1940s. And all of these photos were taken by one man, Joseph Owen Curtis. He went by Owen. But he didn't just record images. He put these handwritten notes on each photo, telling you about the people, the scene, the sounds. Like, you see the man selling watermelons from a cart? You find him? Owen even wrote down the call the watermelon man used to make.
Watermelon. Red to the rind. Sell them cheap and I plug them every time. Watermelon. Red to the rind. Sell them cheap and I plug them every time.
Looking at his photographs and reading the notes he wrote on them, for me, it's like some kind of time machine. The more I look at them, the more alive his Southwest becomes for me. I can see the vibrancy of the place, hear its song.
Owen, tell this man his behind is gonna be as red as that melon's rind if he don't move his wagon out from in front of my spot on this street. There's room enough for his termite bed down the block.
Come on, Nellie. Take it easy on an old man.
Who you calling old? You know you younger than me, and I ain't nowhere near old.
You ain't near old. You done passed it.
AR completed.
Marina and a seaside boardwalk. 15 years after that sketch, it had all happened. Well, except for that boardwalk, which is just being finished now. It's a few feet away from you, and they call it the wharf. And now, I live here. And I've got my own map of Southwest in my head. My grandparents' old apartment. Westminster Church Friday jazz nights. That new Korean spot they opened before the pandemic. That was a savior. Love that senior housing complex they're talking about building down by the channel. Arena Stage. My inspiration. Oh, and that slice of city property out there for the land trust. Of course, those crab cakes. Yoga Flow on Fridays. Ernie's new spot in James Creek. And the Build First Agreement meeting for Greenleaf Gardens. The great majority of 23,000 mostly black residents that were displaced in the 1950s redevelopment never returned. But thanks to Joseph Owen Curtis, they can never be erased. And in finding a way to make their world known, he's kept their stories present and has given voice to those facing similar threats today, like at Greenleaf.
We tried in all the ways that we knew how